Hello everyone, it's Robin the Delta Crafter and I want to thank you for joining me for another video on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the BetterPress plates and a couple of additional bonus ways that you can use these plates in crafting. Spellbinders launched the BetterPress system last year as a way to be able to create letterpress images and crafts at home. They were kind enough to send me a couple of their recently released plates for their BetterPress system. I have a few plates from the Every Occasion Floral and Sentiment set that I'm going to be showing you how to use today even if you don't have a BetterPress system. Let's take a look at the plates. So I have the letters R, E, and W, and you can see here what the images look like. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first way that you can use BetterPress plates even if you don't have a BetterPress system. So the first technique that I'm going to be sharing with you is how to use the BetterPress plates to do some hot foiling. The Glimmer machine system is a hot foiling system offered by Spellbinders as well. And the BetterPress plates make a wonderful way to add some hot foiling to your design. So here you can see the individual letter and you can see how the sentiment is separate from the letter. So you can use the letter by itself or you can use it in combination with the sentiment. Now for the letter E, the sentiment kind of attaches and slides into and locks into place with the letter. So that helps you be able to get good placement and spacing on your cardstock. So I'm just using a piece of Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to cut a piece of black hot foil to use for my hot foiling today. I'm not going to go into great detail about hot foiling and how to do it. I have several other videos where I go into great detail about this process, so I'll be sure to link those in the description box below for you. So I'm creating my sandwich with my hot foil, and I'm just going to cut off any excess hot foil because I don't want any over foiling to happen. I've gotten that trimmed down. My Glimmer machine is all warmed up, and I can tell that because my ready light is solid green. Then I'm just going to place my hot foil thin shim on there and my spacer pad on top and press the timer. The timer will flash as long as it's going through the process. When it turns solid, then you know you can take your platform over to your die cutting machine and run it through so that your die cutting machine can apply pressure to the plate and the hot foil so that the hot foil can transfer to the paper. When you're hot foiling, you need both heat and pressure in order to get your image to transfer. So you'll want to keep in mind that the plates are warm when you pull them off. So you will want to use some tweezers and lay them on this heat safe pad that comes with your Glimmer machine. And when you peel your foil back, you can see that we have a beautifully foiled image in this beautiful black foil. So these BetterPress plates have some beautiful florals on them. So I want to go ahead and color those in with some Copic markers. I'm going to do some very simple Copic coloring here. Nothing too fancy. So I'm bringing in a Y13, which is a yellow color. I'm just going to color in the petals of our flowers here. Then I'm going to also bring in a green, which is G07 rather. And I'm going to just add a little bit of green to all the leaves on the flowers. And that's going to give us just some additional color, which is one of the reasons why I like using the black foil. You can add whatever color you want to add to these florals that are part of your BetterPress plate. I'm going to take this panel, which I've trimmed down a little bit, and place it onto a piece of green cardstock. This is going to be an A2 size card. And then I'm going to place some foam tape on the back of that and create a card using a black card base. The black card base is going to pair nicely with that black foil that we used and create a very cohesive look. You'll want to put a piece of white cardstock on the inside so you can write a sentiment for this card. Next up is the second way that I'm going to show you how to use your BetterPress plates. BetterPress plates tend to be just a tiny bit thicker than traditional hot foil plates, and certainly thicker than die cutting plates. And that makes these dies lend themselves very well to being dry embossed. So I'm going to create a couple of monogrammed dry embossed cards. The best way to do this, again, this is going to give you a deep impression, is you want to kind of loosen up your paper a little bit. So you want to spritz the back of the paper with some water. Now the key to this technique is this tan embossing pad. This is a flexible embossing pad that, depending on how your combination of your embossing machine came, it may have come with it, and sometimes you have to buy it separately. But it is key to creating or achieving this look, because this pad is flexible and it will allow the plate to press into it and give you the look that we're going for. So we're going to take our BetterPress plate and we're just going to tape it down onto the cardstock. I went ahead and trimmed this cardstock down before I started, so that I have it the exact size that I need. I don't have to worry about trying to trim it afterwards, because I don't want to run any risk of depressing or losing the image that I'm going to create. I'm also using the Spellbinders universal plate system. So for your particular embossing machine, you're probably going to need to play around with what combination of plates is going to give you the result that you're looking for. So I played around with my universal plate system, and I found a combination that works for me. And let's take a look at the results of using that embossing pad. You can see there that it really pressed into the paper. We have a beautiful deep impression, and I'm going to use that to create a card. This is going to be an all white card, so it's going to be tone on tone. You can go ahead and add ink to your BetterPress plates if you wanted to press ink into your monogrammed cards. You can certainly do that. I was just going for a very classic and clean look by just using the white cardstock on a white card base. Because the impression is so deep, I did go ahead and add some foam to the back of my panel. And you can see here just how deeply impressed that image is into the cardstock. So again, this is a piece of Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock in the 80-pound weight that I've used. So here's a couple of pointers that I want to share from my experiments that I've used. You do want to use a thicker cardstock, 80-pound weight or higher. Another tip is that I chose not to use the sentiments because I didn't want to run the risk of flattening my images by having to run them through the die cutting machine again. If you try using the sentiments and have success, please tag me in your postings so I can take a look at them, and maybe I'll give it a try next time. Let's take a closer look at the hot foil card, as well as an additional hot foil card I made using that I added some die cuts to as well. So here's this one, and I've used the oval dies as well to cut it out, and I added, like I said, some additional greenery to the back of it. I really love the way I was able to stretch these BetterPress plates to create some new and fun additional cards, and I hope to create a couple more of these monogrammed ones. I want to thank you all for joining me for another video on my YouTube channel. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comment section below. You can always find me on Instagram and Facebook at The Delta Crafter, as well as on my website, thedeltacrafter.com. I'll be sure to link as many of the products that I've used today in the description box below. Until next time, everyone, enjoy!